Good evening. It is May 11th, 2023, and I'd like to welcome you and call to order the meeting of the South Brunswick Township Board of Education. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the board secretary has caused notice of this meeting, including date, time, and location, to be posted in the South Brunswick Public Library and the board office, filed with the township clerk, and communicated to the Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger. Mr. Pawlowski, can we have roll call, please?
Mrs. Julie Ferrara.
Present.
Mrs. Laura Hernandez.
Here.
Mrs. Deepa Karthik.
Here.
Mrs. Alicia Khan. Mr. Raja Krishna. Mr. Mike Mitchell.
Present.
Mr. Barry Nathanson.
Here.
Dr. Smitha Raj.
Here.
Mrs. Lisa Rogers.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Ms. Khan had a family emergency this evening, so she will not be joining us. Next is the approval of the meeting agenda. May I have a motion and second to approve tonight's meeting? Mr. Mitchell, move. Dr. Raj, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the first order of business is the report of the student rep, Ms. Ria Krishnan.
Good evening, everybody. Here's just a few updates on everything that's going on in our high school. The SBHS Art Club Chipotle fundraiser is on May 17th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. The South Brunswick CS Club presents Hack SB on Saturday, May 18th from 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. and the event will have free food, workshops, and prizes. A hackathon is a competitive programming event which runs for 12 hours where people will work in teams to build incredible projects. Additionally, we'll be running a multitude of other events during the Hack SB. For more information, take a look at their website and flyer, both of which have been attached. And then class of 2023, you can order a lawn sign to celebrate graduates. Email your order to sbhsprojectgraduation@gmail.com. The class of 2025 is hosting a Panera fundraiser on May 12th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Use code FUN4U at the online checkout. Some save the dates. Junior prom is on Sunday, May 21st on the Cornucopia Cruise Line. The Powder Puff football game is on Wednesday, May 24th at 6 p.m. Senior prom is on Friday, June 9th at the Marigold. Senior sunset is on Wednesday, June 14th in the Valhalla Stadium at SBHS. And graduation will take place on Friday, June 23rd in Jersey Mike's Arena. Now moving on to athletics, starting with boys lacrosse, Luke Meir was named GMC Player of the Week for the week 423 to 429 after scoring 4 goals in each of our wins against Union Catholic and Lawrence. He extended that streak to 4 games after scoring 4 against Colts Neck and Old Bridge the following week. The boys tennis team is still ranked 7 in the state by NJ.com and is now 12-1 just a week before the GMC tournament. The Vikings defeated JP Stevens and Lawrence in the last 2 weeks, with rain preventing a rematch with East Brunswick, the team's only loss. The team will also be entered into the state team tournament, as well as an individual placement into the state singles and doubles tournaments. The team will play number 1 ranked Pingree later this month as well. The boys spring track team won the GMC County Relays Championships at SBHS on May 2nd and 3rd. The Vikings scored 98 points while placing in 14 out of 16 events. The team won gold in 5 relay events. This is the 11th team title in school history, and the team is ranked 10th in the state by NJ.com. The girls' spring track and field team won the GMC Relay Championships held at South Brunswick High School last week. The team scored 89 points with 22 athletes contributing to the team's scoring. The team finished first in 2 events, the 3x400 hurdles and the 4x1600 relays, and placed top 6 in 15 of the 16 events. The team is currently ranked 18th in the New Jersey, 18th according to NJ.com, and will be in action again on Saturday the 13th when they compete in the GMC Red Division Championship meet. Lastly, the girls' golf team, ranked 16th in the state, has a current record of 12-3. At the recent GMC Championship, the girls placed second to 2-time defending champions Warlow Hartridge. Vidhi Lakawa placed first, Anushka Sawant fourth, and Samaya Sheikh placed 7th. The team qualified for the Central Jersey Sectional Tournament contest this past Monday. One of the best-kept secrets in South Brunswick sports this spring, freshman Vidi Lakawa won her third tournament of the year, shooting an even par 71 to best in outstanding field. Junior Anushka Sawan also had an excellent round, playing seventh, shooting a 76. Vidi and Anushka will be playing in the individual state tournament on May 16th, where both are strong contenders for a title. Mr. Feder, they may be willing to help you with your short game this off-season. Upcoming home events, on May 15th, we have softball versus Heightstown, baseball versus Allentown. On May 17th, baseball versus Lawrence. May 18th, boys lacrosse versus WWP South and girls lacrosse versus Ewing. And to finish it off, congratulations to our senior student athletes that signed their letters of intent to continue their athletic careers in college. Katie Rausch, Rowan University for basketball. Harmihar Chabra, Stevens Institute of Technology for basketball. Yuri Kowa, Clark University for field hockey, and Nicole George for Chestnut Hill College lacrosse. We are very proud of their athletic and academic achievements. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for our student rep, Ms. Krishnan? Nope. Very good. We will move on to the report of the superintendent. Mr. Feder, you are up.
Nothing gets me to a 65, though. Sorry, Maria. So this is a great week. This is Teacher Appreciation Week this week. And we were able to, thanks to Marianne Murphy, to get a billboard up on Route 1. So if you haven't seen that, take a look. It'll be shouting out to our teachers for this week. They're an incredible group of people who do great things for our kids, and we're happy to honor them and thank them for everything. We can never thank them enough, but pretty awesome. On the same vein, we have, yesterday was National School Nurses Day. And, we have nurses in every building. In some buildings, we have 2 and 3 nurses. So just another fantastic group. And we forget that they come here every day and they take care of both the kids and the adults. And just an amazing group of people we have as well. So thank you to all of them. Some pretty cool information to report. The Ed Foundation had reached out to us and asked us what might be a great way to focus some of their great donations they do every year. And we met with them with the help of a student. If you remember, we had a student come here talking about an engineering club that he was hoping to be able to get. It's Tyler Peterson, a senior who's on his way to NJIT next year. He, along with Kristen Laskin, our supervisor of business education, and Evelyn, and Dr. Evelyn Mammon, worked together to come up with a plan of what might be a great way for the Education Foundation to assist us in bolstering our engineering program. And while it's not, I don't have official news on that, we did get a chance to meet with them last week, and we've received positive feedback that they want to work with us on this project, which is great, especially at a time where, we're kind of struggling on the financial side. To have a good partner in the Ed Foundation is a great thing for us. So be on the lookout for that. I'll have more specifics as we go, but I just wanted to share that with you right off the bat. Some other good news on the financial side. If you remember, I brought up that the Department of Children and Family, for the second year in a row, had advised us that this would be our last year of receiving money for our bridge program. Well, we believe that the yearly process of telling us we're losing money for that program might be done. We believe it might be done. We might finally have convinced Commissioner Beyer. I don't know where Commissioner Angela McMillan of the Department of Education even stands on this. She's never spoken a word to us about it, never offered anything in relation to it. However, due to parents, administrators, teachers, counselors, clinicians, we believe we've finally beat this battle to the end, where we understand that it will no longer be brought up every year as a cut in the governor's budget. For us, in a time when we're looking at a massive budget cut coming up, that's over $500,000 that we'll be able to hopefully count on going forward. So kudos to the people that stepped up, all the districts and our families and staff as well. So very good news to report. And hopefully I will never be bringing that up again. That would be my hope. Other good news today. Other good news, well, I guess it's good news. It's news. I think people will be happy. We have coming up from May 26th to May 30th, we will be closed. And those are 2 of the give back days associated with days we put into the calendar in case of emergency. We did not need them because this was the 3rd year in a row with no snow days. So that, well, I don't think we're getting snow now. I think we're all right. So that'll be a long weekend, during over Memorial Day weekend. Tonight you're going to hear from to honor the PTO President's Council, and a bunch of them are here tonight. So I'm in a second, I'm going to turn that over to Mr. Ratine, who'll be representing, and Ms. Dubois. Just Mr. Ratine? Allison not interested in helping today? To give us that. But before Mr. Ratine does his thing, there's another person who sits on that council, kind of runs the council. Catherine Oliver. Where's Catherine? Come on up there, Catherine. Come on. Catherine Oliver is she's in a job that I'll call the PTO president of the President's PTO Council. I don't know what to really call her.
No,
She's
PTO president for life.
Yeah. So Catherine has a daughter who I believe is graduating this year. And Catherine believes that gives her permission to stop being the president of the President's Council person, PTO Council president. And we have denied that. So I'm going to present these to Catherine. I'm going to go walk up there. But I got to tell you, I came to the district about 6 years ago, and one of the first people that Dr. McCartney introduced me to was Catherine Oliver and this PTO council. And Catherine has not been, I don't think you haven't been a PTO president in at least 6 years. Yeah, at least. Like 10, 20?
It's been a lot. You were going to make me date myself.
No, I won't say. I won't do that. In the course of these 6 years, though, Catherine, while doing this job and selfless job, I do double her salary every year, and it still has amounted to nothing. But during that time, you went back to work. I believe you got your master's degree. Bachelor's first, then master's degree. And continued to be a beacon for supporting our schools in every way possible. So, Catherine, thank you, and we'll do this again next year. Catherine just said she's going to miss us, guys. She was only kidding. Mr. Ratine.
Well, thank you. Good evening, Board of Education, members of the community, and staff. I'm Peter Ratine, the principal at Indian Fields Elementary School. I'm here speaking on behalf of my colleagues, the principals and assistant principals of all of our schools here in South Brunswick. The PTO does an amazing job of providing wonderful opportunities for students and for supporting the staff. The PTO puts together assemblies, arranges fundraisers, provides food for staff, hosts family fun events, purchases materials to enhance students' learning and experiences, and so much more. Today, we recognize a special group of individuals that lead these wonderful organizations, the PTO presidents of each PTO and the district coordinator, who's not leaving apparently. We've put together a 3-minute video to highlight and acknowledge your hard work. I'm going to start by asking you to look forward, and please enjoy.
One where hard
So we kind of wonder if you ever sleep. I know I can speak for some of my colleagues to say we get emails from you at 8 in the morning, 8 at night, and 2 in the morning at times. So you do so much, and we're fortunate to have you. Your efforts remind us of a famous quote by Michael Jordan. Some want it to happen, some wish it to happen, others make it happen. So thank you for all you do. And Ms. Rogers, would you please join me here at the podium for the presentation of appreciation certificates for each of these amazing volunteers. I ask that when I call your name and your school's name, that you come up and present you with your certificate. From Brooks Crossing School, Nicole DeMattia. From Brunswick Acres School, Mary Salama Aisha and Arya Nadkarni. From Cambridge School, we have two. We have Chanel Lester and Regina Bowdwin. Rami Lee is picking up on both their behalf. Thank you. From Constable School, we have Nariska Kaufman. From Greenbrook, Principal Jody Mahoney will receive on behalf of her PTO President, Lisa Browning. From Indian Field School, Annapurna Gadapalli.
Thank you so much.
From Monmouth Junction School, we have two. We have Mariam Pal and Zunaria Tariq. Mr. Shees, the principal, will be receiving on behalf. But thank you. From Crossroads North and South Middle Schools, Ina Betty. We have two from South Brunswick High School, Lizette Lopez and Deepika Chandola.
Thank you so much for being here. And my friend. We should have also had Barry over here. Barry. You miss you, Barry? Thank you, guys.
That was an I Miss You, Barry, if you didn't hear that. And last but not least, again, for truly all of her years of service, whether continued or not, sorry, Mr. Fetter, Catherine Oliver, PTO President's Council Coordinator.
I'm not going anywhere.
Can we give our PTO President's Council one big round of applause for all they do? Thank you so much, and I turn it over to Ms. Rogers.
Thank you. Did you have a few more? Yeah. Mr. Fetter still has a few more things.
Yeah, I went out of order. I've been yelled at by Murph and Lisa already, so I apologize. We have a few other great acknowledgements. Before I do that, the PTO Council is a group of presidents who meet with us once a month and also kind of lead their respective PTOs. Along with them, of course, are their teams. And while their teams were not up here today, their teams really make it all hum along with them as well, and all the volunteers. So much happens in a good PTO that we have them in all of our schools that make great things happen for kids and for staff. So thank you to both all of you, to your teams, and to your volunteers. Awesome, thank you. I want to turn it over to Dr. Mammon, who's going to talk about SB Reads.
Good evening. As you're aware, South Brunswick Reads is an annual event where we read and come together around a common theme. I would like to acknowledge our library media specialists here today. Some are here. We're missing Lisa, but we're all here in spirit anyway. But this year, our work was around the theme of social awareness. The library media specialists have spearheaded this, the activities around this in all of our schools and the district as a whole. I invite you for a peek at how we read for social awareness this year.
In South Brunswick, our school libraries are at the heart of each building. Each librarian is dedicated to supporting the traditions, needs, and interests of her students. South Brunswick Reads has become a valued tradition across our district. Tonight we share a snapshot of how we came together as readers to build empathy, gratitude, mutual respect, and kindness through books and shared reading experiences. Across our schools, many librarians combine South Brunswick Reads for social awareness with Read Across America Week celebrations. While this might look a little bit different at each level, each librarian creates engaging opportunities to connect our students with great books. We grow students who see themselves as readers and who are always open to new reading recommendations. Great books are used in our classrooms to inspire social awareness. Inspired by our shared reading, we collected food for local food pantries, shoes for children in need, and our administrators jumped right in to support us, teaching our students how to be kind through books. An important part of social awareness is learning about the experiences of others. What better way to do this than speaking to an award-winning author firsthand? Author Aisha Saeed shared how her experience as a person of color impacted the picture books and novels she writes. After her presentation, the author encouraged our students to ask questions. Author Doreen Cronin shared how she writes and rewrites her books. Then she welcomed students' questions and encouraged each to develop their own stories using their own voices. Our former student, Jenna Hamza, visited to share her book, Like the Sunshine, You Are Beautiful, which is full of messages of self-affirmation. Author John David Anderson shared the art of storytelling, the power of words, and the importance of persistence during his school visits. At the One Book Family Reading event, he got to know our students as they challenged themselves on obstacle courses and book-themed Jeopardy through constellation art and ice cream. He even got a chance to design his own toothbrush. You know you have a strong culture of reading when author Will Mara just drops by. What a great opportunity for our students. Just like author visits, shared readings may look different at each level, but we share the same goal: to inspire our students to read, to learn, to build empathy for our community, and to find joy. SB Reads also appeared in our SEL Day activities, with book connections at each level. Poetry Pals encouraged some of our oldest students to read to our youngest. In addition to a poem, students shared a favorite memory and were rock stars in the schools they once attended. Don't let their size fool you. Our seniors were thrilled to be back in their elementary schools, even if it was virtual. And remember, our focus is reading. Nothing does that better than drop everything and read. This is the excitement we want to build in our children when it comes to books. Sharing what they read with friends. Books help our children to be brave like Jabari and show off our superhero capes. To be thankful for our families. To imagine ourselves as nonfiction authors. To learn the value of research. To show kindness. To create our very own self-portraits. And to respect the things that make us special and unique. South Brunswick Reads has a proud tradition of cooperation with our art teachers. Our community lined up to get into our art show, the first in person since the pandemic. And they were not disappointed. The work was beautiful and meaningful. Our art teachers inspired our students to think how they might become more socially aware, with all levels participating. All that, and it's only May 11th. Imagine what's next for South Brunswick Reads for Social Awareness. For more information on how to participate, book recommendations, and upcoming events, visit our website.
My thanks to all those who collaborated with us. I want to particularly acknowledge our librarians here tonight. Thank you for coming out. And for Lisa Manganello, who you heard in the video, for making magic out of all the things we gave her. So thank you.
All right, we're going to continue. We're going to call up our Assistant Superintendent, Suzanne Luckborn, who's going to call to the podium a student who's going to share some very exciting news.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm pleased to share with the South Brunswick community some exceptional news coming out of our high school. One of our SBHS sophomores, Madhavan Gopikrishnan, was selected to participate in the Future Leaders Exchange Abroad program, also known as FLEX. We're talking about a sophomore this evening. The program is funded by the U.S. State Department Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs. Madhavan is one of approximately 15 students selected from across the United States who has been awarded this competitive scholarship from the U.S. Department of State to participate this August. So while we're looking forward to school ending in June, this August, Madhavan will be spending the academic year in Poland. According to the staff at the high school, adjectives they've used to describe him include motivated, ambitious, and articulate. He is the sophomore class president and is also involved in the Viking Volunteers Club. Please join me in congratulating Madhavan on receiving this prestigious, merit-based scholarship. I would like to call him up to the podium at this time to say a few words.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here this evening. I think the first thing I want to say is I just wanted to thank everyone who supported me throughout this journey, whether you've been my friends who helped me with the application or my dad who did most of the application. I just wanted to thank everyone who's been there for me, including my teachers, the district, and yeah, that's really all I have for today.
Well, to make it clear, so next year, a whole year in Poland? The whole academic school year. Congratulations. Yeah. It's amazing. All right, I have one more.
Okay.
One more.
Okay.
I'm going to call up Kelly Zielinski and the South Brunswick Helping Hands Club. Come on down. And let them take it from here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kelly Zielinski, and I teach social studies at the high school, and I am also the advisor of this wonderful community service organization here at the high school, SB Helping Hands. And we brought some students with us from our executive board. We're going to present to you our second annual Distracted Driving campaign. So I have Joshua Milbrod here, who is our vice president, Jake Panzer, who is our president, and then Sharonya Puther, who is our public relations chair, and she's actually going to hand out some of our merchandise from the campaign to you all as well. So thank you for having us, and I'm going to turn it over to them.
All right, as Ms. Zielinski said, hello everyone. Thank you for having us tonight.
All right. So the South Brunswick Helping Hands Club is a club that is in our school community, and we are dedicated to helping students pursue careers possibly in volunteering, and we're dedicated to serving our community. So in our club events, we host various opportunities for community service, and we have guest speakers that aim to increase students' intellectual exploration about various topics such as veterans appreciation, and we're soon to be having a Mother's Day event. So we try to help increase community involvement within our community, and it means a lot to us that we are able to be on this club.
So here's our board members for the club.
All right, so this is our second year actually doing this exciting event. We're participating in the Champion School Initiative in accordance with the Brain Injury Alliance of New Jersey, and we are given this fortunate opportunity to be able to attend an event at Six Flags in June, where we get to talk with peers who collectively share the same mission as us in promoting safe driving, specifically passenger safety, because we want to minimize the amount of distractions that are on the road. And we were actually given the fortunate opportunity to hear from the Casey Feldman Foundation for a school-wide assembly that we had. And this really inspired us. We want to create meaningful change in our community. And it's really important for us because in a matter of seconds, something tragic can happen to a person's life, and even just being able to reduce that by a little amount really, is meaningful for our community. So you can see right up there, our slogan is "Mind on the road, hands on the wheel."
So here's our PSA video we made as a board to address this awareness.
You're going too fast. This is the school parking lot. Slow down.
Mind on the road, hands on the wheel.
All right, so for the past few months, we've actually had a table throughout our lunches where students have the ability to participate in becoming more aware about driving statistics. So these included like a trivia booth, opportunities for our students to take photos. And it was also just a nice event for our community because students were able to come to us, and we created a very inclusive environment in promoting driving statistics, and people were then able to post information about them attending our tables on social media to enter a raffle so that we could create, a more fun opportunity for all of them.
So on this Saturday, we have an upcoming awareness walk on May 20th from 11 to 1 p.m. So here's the QR code if you want to scan and join and participate. And we're just promoting our whole campaign.
And here's just a couple other stuff we have done. We actually were able to put this in the prom packets where we put a promise to drive safe. So students were easily able to see this, and it's just like a nice reminder for them, especially with prom being such an event. People might want to have fun after prom, but we still have to be safe and mindful of, driving and not being distracted on the road. And we're also going to be spreading awareness about our club and slogan on a local billboard, which is really exciting. And right here was just another QR code we did with our Safe Driving Pledge that was made accessible to students in our community. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We thank you all for being a safe driver, and we would also really like to acknowledge our advisor, Ms. Zielinski. She's been an amazing advisor for us, and we are just so excited to be on this club and help the community out.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just going to add, we recently met with both the chief of police and some other township officials, and they reported, I don't know if you guys are on the Nixle, but if you go to Nixle in South Brunswick, you'll see there's an accident, but it seems like almost every day on Route 1 or somewhere near it. We asked, there were over 3,000 accidents in the last year in South Brunswick, 3,000 car accidents. And we asked what was the number one, chief told us that the biggest issue is distracted driving. Whether that be from texting or phone, that seems to be the dominant. So thank you guys very much for bringing that to the meeting today and for doing the work you're doing in the school. Starting with students your age, could maybe change the trend, at least in South Brunswick. So great job. Thank you so much. And with that, I turn it over to you.
Very good. Anybody has any questions for Mr. Federer? No? So just I want to say thank you on behalf of the board to the teachers and nurses for all the work that you do, to Catherine and all the PTO presidents and the whole group that's involved in the PTO. It's a lot of hard work, but when you see those smiles, it means everything. So again, please convey our thanks to your teams, also to the librarians and the art teachers. And South Brunswick Helping Hands, you do good work. Thank you for that. And Madhavan, all the best to you. And I know your family will miss you, but you're going to do amazing things. There is a statement that Helen Keller once said, and it says, quote, "Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much," end quote. So to all of you, thank you on behalf of the board. You are such an important part of our community, and our hearts go out to you. Thank you so much. Okay. Next order of business is to hear the reports of the committees and the board liaisons. Will the Education Committee report? Any questions? Oh, excuse me, will the Education Committee report? Yeah. I'm going to do that right after. Go ahead, sorry. I'm actually going to interrupt you for 1 second. If you all want to step away, that's fine. If you're more than happy to hang out, that would be great too. But we get it, and we'll take a minute to allow you to step away. Thank you. Sorry. Good luck, madam. Seriously.
Congratulations.
Write letters. Wait, they don't do that anymore. Give it 2 seconds and make it go. Okay.
The Education Committee. The Education Committee met on April 27th at 6 p.m. Here at Crossroads North. In attendance were some kind of an echo. In attendance were Ms. Karthik, Mrs. Hernandez, Mrs. Rogers, Mr. Morales, Ms. Susan Lockburn, and Dr. Mammon and Mr. Feder. We did not have any new agenda items, but we had a lot going on, so generally the committee discussed about the old items, and there were a lot of updates. Many of the updates Mr. Feder has already filled us in about the special education movement across the schools. There was also the update on preschools that Mr. Feder gave us. So we had the committee had previously discussed those things as well. And then there was we also discussed an upcoming curriculum revisions for the upcoming school year. So the committee will eventually get periodic updates instead of a complete report on the revision in one go. So we are aware of everything before we vote. So we have some time to dive in and understand the changes before the curriculum goes for a vote. So we discussed that, and then we also discussed about potential for career academies, maybe a trade and teachers academy for future consideration. So those are the things we broadly discussed.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions for Education Committee? Nope. Okay. File the report. Thank you. Will the Business Operations Committee report?
But we postponed it. It's going to be the end of the month.
Thank you for that. Any update from the Finance Committee? Where do you? Oh, there he is.
We met on May 1st to go over the finals of the budget, which was voted upon last Thursday. So that's pretty much it. What you heard last Thursday is what we discussed, and even more in depth. Thanks to Mr. Feder and Mr. Pawlowski, the department, for their work, their due diligence, and we have a budget for next year. Thank you.
Before we move on to the Policy Committee, because we have second readings of the policy, I'll ask if any liaison reports from the members. No? Okay, we will move on then to Policy Committee report. Thank you. And second reading.
First. Thank you, President Rogers. We have a number of policies on the first reading. This is the policy Alert 230. I'll be reading the number of the policy and the policy title. A brief description of these policies that we read and we discussed will be up in our minutes, committee meeting minutes, so you can just refer to it there. If there are any questions, you can send it my way and Dave's way after today. So the first policy, which was in our first read, was P0144, which is a board member orientation and training. That's a revision. P2520, instructional supplies, which is a revision. P3217, 4217, use of corporal punishment, which is revised, and use of corporal punishment, new. P5305, which is student health records, mandatory and revised. P5310, health services, mandatory, revised. P6112, reimbursement of federal and other grants, expenditures, mandatory, revised. P6115.04, federal funds, duplication of benefits, which is mandatory and it's new. P6311, contracts for goods or services funded by federal grants. This is mandatory and revised. P7440, school district security, mandatory and revised. P9100, public relations, abolished. P9140, citizens advisory committees, revised. We met on April 25th. In attendance was myself, Alicia Khan, and President Rogers. We looked at these policies. The details of these policies will be available on our portal, and the minutes will be uploaded in our committee meetings folder. If there are any questions, feel free to direct to myself and Dave, and we'll do our best to answer it. These policies will be on second reading at the next board meeting for adoption. Thank you, President.
Thank you. And just to remind all board members, as Ms. Karthik stated, that the policies will be on the portal for you to read. Please do so prior to the next meeting because they will be voted upon. Thank you so much. Okay, moving on for public comments. The Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on school matters of community interest. Complete copies of the rules that govern this portion of the meeting are available to the public at the back of the room as well as on the website, or you can obtain an advance copy by contacting the board office during regular business hours. We do reserve the right to limit each speaker to no more than 3 minutes. Mr. Pawlowski will indicate when you have 15 seconds remaining. It is our plan to listen to each member of the public. We will note all questions and comments made. Once all questions and comments from all members of the public are made, the Board of Education will respond, if necessary, to questions or comments in the most timely and efficient manner available. Please consider not repeating questions or comments made by other members of the public. When recognized, please approach the podium and state your name, place of residence, and/or your group affiliation. The first public comment is for agenda items only. There will be a second opportunity for the public to comment on any matter. Mr. Pawlowski, I believe we have no pre-registrations?
None at this time.
Thank you. Are there any audience members who wish to make a public comment? No? All right, very good. Thank you. So there are no comments. We will close this portion of the public comments. Moving on, we will move on to the old business and new business. Seeing none, we will close that section of the agenda and move on to the next order of business, it's the consent agenda review by Mr. Pawlowski, please.
Good evening, everybody. We have our standard consent agenda this evening. We have items 1 through 1-4 or 1-3 are the standard operations for the business office of bills list, financials, and transfers. We are accepting a donation from our PTO at Indian Fields for $4,500 to go to a field trip at Eagles Landing Day Camp. We have a non-public technology order. We also recognizing that we did not receive any bids for a student transportation run in 1-6, 1-7. We are looking to renew our contract with FileBank out of Oakland, New Jersey to house all of our digital records and a lot of our actual physical records. We have 1-8, we're approving the authorization to use a competitive contract to look for substitute services. We're approving sale of buses in 1-9. We sold 4 buses for just under $10,000 per bus. Renewal of time and material contracts, you can see that in 1-10. They move all the way through for the next 2 or 3 pages. We have 1-11 is we're recording the actual bid awards to the vendors. We have AC Kobe Electrical Corporation out of Hamilton, New Jersey for a journeyman electrician. He's our, time and material for electrical services. We have time and material for asphalt paving with Halcon Incorporated. We have a time and material services for masonry services with Newcon Group. We're doing a second reading and adoption of policies for harassment, intimidation, bullying, student transportation, and use of facilities. Just remember the 8600 student transportation policy was clarified in certain portions to be able to make it very clear with regards to hazardous routes and courtesy busing and use of facilities policy 7510 dealt with facility rates with the facilities as in rentals and bringing that into line for profitability for the district. 113, we're looking for travel related expenses. 114 is our harassment, intimidation, bullying reports. We have some student field trips in 115 and extension of professional services for our nursing services and a school calendar update, which I may add that in motion 117 we'll make a correction before anybody approves the consent agenda. Just know that Friday, May 25th is really Friday, May 26th. So that's a date change in the actual motion. Thank you, Ms. Karthik, for finding that today and forwarding it on to me. And other than that, it's personnel. And that's your consent agenda walkthrough.
May I have a motion and second for consent agenda? Ms. Mr. Nathanson moved, Ms. Hernandez second. Is there any discussion on this consent agenda? No consent agenda discussion. Very good. Mr. Pulaski, may I have a roll call?
Ms. Julie Ferrari?
Accept.
Mrs. Laura Hernandez?
Yes.
Mrs. Deepa Karthik?
Yes.
Mr. Mike Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Barry Nathanson?
Yes.
Dr. Smith Raj?
Yes.
Mrs. Lisa Rogers?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pulaski. Okay, moving on is the second opportunity for public comment. So again, second opportunity for the public to comment on any matter. You are reminded that the board recognizes the value of comments on educational issues and that you are limited to 3 minutes. Again, at the podium, please state your name, your place of residence, and/or your group affiliation. Again, Mr. Pulaski, no pre-registrations?
Registrations.
Thank you. Are there any audience members who wish to make a public comment on any agenda, on any item? No? Yes? Okay. Please, to the podium, state your name, your place of residence, and if there's any group affiliation.
My name is Jocelyn from South Brunswick. No group affiliations. All right, I wrote myself some notes just so that I'm on target with your 3-minute limit. Really, I'm just legitimately concerned as a parent. Mr. Fetter is aware of some of my concerns, but I wanted to bring it to this meeting just to kind of spread awareness, and also I need some answers as a parent. I'm just feeling like there's a lack of action when there's a threat on a student's life in the high school. I would like to know the protocol for a threat on a student's life. So if a student is threatened, if a weapon is mentioned, what then is the protocol? What is there has to be something in the handbook, and if there is something in the handbook, I would like to know what exactly it is that we're doing to protect students, because a threat on one student's life is a threat on all students' life, and I feel like that should be, noted. I feel as though school and families should work as a team. Therefore, communication between schools, administration, and students and families, it should be improved. If I have no update in days over a threat that was that was made against my child, that's alarming to me. If I'm calling for updates and I'm met with condescending remarks from leadership, that's alarming to me. There needs to be, furthermore, on the same note, on the same topic, there needs to be more awareness on some of the indicators for students who are struggling with their mental health. So instead of constantly going through report after report after report, trying to look at these indicators okay, you know what, this person might need additional help. I think that would be helpful. I am concerned for my children's safety, but I'm concerned for all the children's safety that's in this district. There needs to be more action. There needs to be more compassion for parents who are concerned, not making me feel like I'm wrong for calling or wrong for speaking up on something that is valuable to me. My child is valuable to me. So I'm just disappointed at the lack of action. I'm disappointed in how I was treated and how I continue to see other people be treated as well when they have the same concerns that I have. Is my 3 minutes up? Okay, so I have 15 seconds. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Ma'am, before you sit down, just for the record, may I just have your last name and your residence?
My last name is McIntosh.
McIntosh, okay. And place of residence?
Kendall Park.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your comments.
Are there any other comments, public comments on any matter? Very good. We will close this portion of the public comments. Okay. So if there is no further business to be discussed, please note that this next scheduled Board of Ed meeting is set for Thursday, June 8th, 2023. And we will move forward with an adjournment, sorry. May I have a motion and second to adjourn?
Motion moved.
Dr. Raj is the first. Second is Mr. Nathanson. Hearing no objection, the meeting is adjourned at 7:57 p.m. Thank you for attending and have a pleasant evening, South Brunswick.